I am fuming. Let's get this paper going. Get this nice. Good. Hi, welcome. I am fuming in a good way. Hopefully you can see me. Let me fix this. See that gonna work? I can't tell if that's working or not. Let's see. Is that gonna? Okay, we're good. Hello. How's everyone doing? I'm gonna have to sell this now. I'm just selling this right now. Welcome. Yeah, I know. I said I wouldn't be doing this till Monday, but I gotta settle this debate. We're gonna talk about it. First, I'm gonna go over a couple of teams that we're gonna just do this. Let's do this calmly and try to do it professionally. I am currently watching the New England Patriots versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for college football. So I've been seeing on people. I've been hearing people on the internet discrediting some of these teams who, in my opinion, have every opportunity to do the unthinkable and win out. And we're going to go over those. There's 5 teams we're going to be talking about in this short little live stream. And our first one is Oklahoma. Let's start my home team, Oklahoma. So people have been saying they're not going to. They have no good wins. They have 2 good losses, but to me, that's Here's what's going to happen. I will tell you right now. There's one game that people should be looking at. Don't think. Okay, I'm trying to keep this as unbiased as possible, but it hurts my soul seeing this to Oklahoma. So as we know, Oklahoma has one of the toughest schedules in the SEC. I am not even joking. I don't even think in the SEC in the country. Like they came into this conference and the committee said, you know what? We don't want you anymore. We don't like you anymore. You go back with your big little bro, OSU, Oklahoma State University, back into the Big Ten. Back into the Big 12, and take your little rowdy little sidekick Texas as well. And then Oklahoma's like, we're staying here. We moved. We're staying. And committee's like, not under my watch. Here's your schedule: Michigan, Alabama, Missouri, LSU, Tennessee, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Auburn. How's that? Now do you want to move back? Do you want to move back now? Go face them in the commit, and now look at where Oklahoma is. So you can't blame them too much. It's not their fault. But it is weird that Michigan, and I don't think, okay, I know we're going to go off of ranked wins. I know that's the thing. If you have a good win against a ranked opponent, that's fine. There's only 2 teams that are ranked and that they have at the moment, but they're losses, and that is to Ole Miss and Texas. Other than that, they have won out every other game. Those 2 quality losses they don't have that other quality win to balance those quality losses, which could all change. Missouri losing to so basically A&M destroyed in Missouri. So now that Missouri is not going to be ranked, they're probably dropping out. A&M just snuffed Oklahoma of that ranked win. LSU got blown out by A&M, and A&M snuffed out that win for Oklahoma because before, let's say this was before A&M went into LSU. So let's say A&M played Auburn, and Alabama would play LSU that week. Not Alabama. Let's say LSU was on a bye week. Okay, they were on a bye week. Missouri and them got a bye. Missouri would still play Vanderbilt, and then A&M would play Missouri. We'll say that, but that's already Missouri's down again. So Missouri's not going to be ranked. Here's what would happen. Let's say LSU still had Brian Kelly. They were still ranked because they had not played A&M yet, so they still had a chance to make it into the playoff. They haven't looked good, but they're still ranked. They're still a ranked team. Okay? you lose. Let's say you still lose to Texas, which I'm considering was a game that Oklahoma had to lose. Then you lose to Ole Miss, but you win South Carolina, you win Auburn, and you win against Michigan early on. Then you win out against your non-conference games like Temple and Michigan too. And also, you then go on the road and win against Tennessee. So this by then Tennessee would have still been ranked, but in the 25. That's again now that they're still 25 according to the rankings. So boom, there's your quality win. And Vanderbilt's just going to take that right away because they're going to be playing Tennessee. So if Oklahoma, I'll explain it. I'll get to the big game in a moment, the reason why I brought this up. But we'll just say everything plays out like that the same way. So now Oklahoma's still 9-2. However, now Missouri's not ranked, but LSU is ranked. They play LSU at the end of the schedule. Vanderbilt plays Tennessee at the end of their schedule. So it'll be a matter of who will get the win, who gets the better win between Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. That'll determine how far. That would have determined how far LSU falls and Tennessee falls. So here's what happens. Let's say they lose to Alabama, they win out against Missouri, unranked Missouri. They go into Death Valley, they host LSU, and they win out. They win a close game against LSU. There's your ranked win. There's two quality losses and one ranked win. And Tennessee could be considered a ranked win until Vanderbilt, but you have two quality wins and two quality losses, Texas and Ole Miss. So you have that's a good record. That means you lost close to two good teams, and then you have two quality wins against Tennessee and LSU, and ranked too. So those balance out. So then you wait. Now you're on your bye week. You're waiting for now you're done with your schedules. The committee's done. Alabama now goes into LSU. They beat LSU before they already beat LSU. But let's just say LSU gave them a hard fought fight. They're not going to drop that far because it's quality. Well, it'd be a close game. They would still lose, but it wouldn't be that bad. So they would stop drop. So you would still have that ranked win. And then Vanderbilt comes in, they destroy Tennessee, and suddenly you now have only one win that's ranked and two quality losses. So you have a quality win and a quality loss. Which means, well, the only way for you to get in is if A&M and Alabama both somehow lose. And then Georgia loses to Texas and wins against Georgia Tech, and they don't control their destiny. Other than that, Oklahoma still would have to win out. But like I said, that's not how it's going to happen. Instead, there's one game that I'm worried about, but I'm not because I know people are going to be dying. That is next Saturday in Tuscaloosa, Alabama and Oklahoma will go at it. Now, for Alabama, this could be a trap game that they don't expect coming. Let me explain. Oklahoma on the road has done very surprisingly well. They've handled Tennessee. They handled South Carolina. And so they played in some tough environments on the road. And so they are battle tested on the road. And they can win if they have the right plan. However, where that could fall apart is in one of the only remaining stadiums at this season that is considered a hostile environment, and that is Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Because A&M destroyed Death Valley, basically ran in there with the horse and just dusted the entire place. So now Oklahoma will just put the nail in the coffin for LSU. Other than that, there is virtually one way for this game to go for Alabama. If they can't stop the run, they're going to lose this game. Oklahoma has found their run, and they're going to do everything they can. Now, like I said, Alabama, they were exposed against South Carolina with their run game. They cannot run the ball very well. They were exposed on this Saturday. They were exposed last Saturday when they played South Carolina. So I would be careful. And if in LSU, even though they don't have a head coach, they were able to stay with Alabama most of the game. So we'll see. But then this trap game for Alabama is something they shouldn't be taking too lightly. They shouldn't be looking ahead to what is it? Who else is it? No, I mean, yeah, they shouldn't be looking too far ahead because if Oklahoma comes in, upsets Alabama, the SEC is going to be in chaos because now you have Oklahoma and Texas. Texas beats Georgia. Oklahoma beats Alabama. The two only SEC teams besides A&M, well, the two only one-loss SEC teams ranked within the top 5 of the playoff. So you would have Texas and Oklahoma. Boom. They jump Notre Dame. They jump Oregon. They jump BYU. They jump Texas. They jump every team above Notre Dame because they would have the quality wins over everyone else. And suddenly you could see at Oklahoma and Texas vying for a shot at the playoffs. However, Alabama, they can still win out as long as Texas beats Georgia and then Alabama loses. Oklahoma can still win because they could still play Texas and have the head-to-head. Texas would still be over Oklahoma because, like I said, they have the head-to-head win over in Red River, which is why Red River is always such an important game because if both blue-blooded teams get into the playoff, it's gonna be who has the head-to-head. Either Oklahoma or Texas and Red River would have the head-to-head with the other, so they'd get the edge. Again, that's why Red River is so important and so fun. So, anyways, that's Oklahoma's route. They have to beat Alabama, and I think they can. And I'm going to bet. I'm going to go with Oklahoma to win against Alabama. It's not going to be erotic. It's not going to be pretty, but I think Alabama will be caught off footing just like they did last year against Vanderbilt, and they will pay the price big time for letting up the gas. Because if there's one thing Oklahoma can do, it's that front seven and that run game that can do damage. That can destroy some hope for Alabama. And Ty Simpson. If you think South Carolina's guy can run, Ty Simpson can run faster and harder. But the one thing he can't do, he can't be all by himself. He's got to be he will be pressured all day from Oklahoma. So, yeah. Anyways, we have 4 of the T's. There's Oklahoma done. Let's talk Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt 9-2. They're 9-1. Let's say they win out. Sorry, wait, no. They 9-1. I think they're 9-2. Yeah, they're 92 because they would have Texas. Yeah, Alabama. So they're 92 right now. They win. If they win against Tennessee, they're in. So again, let's say they win out against Missouri. They win out against they just win out entirely. They're a 10-2 team, and even though they don't have the head-to-head, they would have the head-to-head to get this. Missouri, Tennessee. What is it? Who else? I'm trying to remember who else. Who else did they? I need to pull up their schedule. But they would they would have the head-to-head. They would have most of those head-to-head. Let's see, that gonna work. Whatever it'll work right now, I'm gonna probably end the email. But just 10-2 Vanderbilt, they would need to get in. They would get in no matter what. I don't care what the committee says. They deserve it. They've done so much comeback from last year. They're real. They deserve it. Anywho, we're talking our first American team. There will be only one more and then one ACC team. After that, we will be calling it quits. Our first of 2 American teams is none other than hello, USF. Thought people wrote you off. Look at you sitting there at 32% chance to get in, And Memphis fell against Tulane, and now Tulane is behind LSU, UCF, and North Texas. So North Texas, Tulane, and USF are kind of vying for that playoff spot. And thanks to the committee, if one team wins the conference, they get an automatic bid to the playoff. So, who will be that group of 5 representatives? Who will be the group of 5 representatives? Will it be American, ACC, Big Ten, or the SEC, or Big 12? It's going to be one of those teams. But I'll tell you what, if there's one team I'm not going to give up on, it is USF. USF, in my opinion, will be the front runner for the American behind Tulane and North Texas. So let's go over it. USF. Obviously, they had that loss to Miami. Miami's no longer ranked. Well, Miami's ranked, but they're no longer in the top 10. So there's that. They do have. Let me pull. I'm just gonna pull up their schedule, and then we're gonna rapid fire Tulane because Tulane's not much to talk about. There's only one thing. There's only one scenario they have to get in, and then of course the ACC. If you couldn't guess who it is Georgia Tech. But all right, let's do this. I want to show you. So if you look at so they have wins over number 25 Boise, number 13 Florida, number 5 Miami back then. So here's their quality. They quality win over Boise. They have that loss to Miami, which that's not going to hold up very well because Miami is no longer ranked in the top 5. Florida, that's no longer going to look. So Boise State's their only quality win so far in the ACC because they're still ranked. But these two teams are not ranked anymore. So these are no longer quality wins and losses. They have the head-to-head. So here's how it works. Here's what I'm saying. This is why I said it could be USF, Tulane, and North Texas combined. If let's say, so they have Navy, which is going to be an interesting game. They can probably win that one. UAB, which is not a gimme because we saw what they did to Memphis, and then take on the bowl of rice, essentially. Other than that, let's say they, and yeah, we'll get to this in a minute. Let's say they went out against UTSA, they went out Navy, they beat Navy, Navy's eliminated, they beat UAB, and then Rice. So these 3 get a bowl, but they're out of the playoff. So now you have Memphis and North Texas. So Memphis is now eliminated because Tulane beat the crap out of them. So that game is no longer a quality loss because Tulane beat Memphis. But here's the thing: no other team is near them except guess who? Tulane and North Texas. And guess who has the head-to-head over North Texas? If Tulane falls, which they probably will, and it's between North Texas and USF, USF would get over and into the playoffs because they have the head-to-head over North Texas with the win. So that's the only way is if they win out. They must win. They can win. They have to win this game. If they win this game, they're in because these games are not going to be close. But if they win out against Navy, they knock out Navy, and that means the only other team that is near them would be North Texas and Tulane. But they don't play Tulane, so that means unless Tulane plays them in the conference championship, North Texas would be out, and it would be a battle. And funny enough, it'd be a championship between USF and Tulane, and then whoever has that would have the win and have the head-to-head, meaning they would have the win over the American. So this game right here. So keep an eye out for this. So North Texas, this game, if it comes down to it, North Texas, USF would jump them, but they must win. So all you got, if you're a USF fan, just hope you win out. All you need to do is win out, and you have a good shot to get in over North Texas and Tulane. Because not only do you not play them, you don't play Tulane, but even if North Texas wins out the rest of their schedule, you have the head-to-head win, meaning you would get over them. But that said, here's why. There's one that could ruin this for everyone. Look who it is. Look at who it is. Why is it not showing the game? Tulane? Tulane? Where are you, Tulane? I don't see Tulane. Tulane? No Tulane? Where's Tulane? I don't see Tulane on here. That is weird. Oh, I guess we're going to the rankings. I guess we're going to, and I'll show you from there. Okay, this is to be all buggy on me. Here it is. Ignore Shipman because they're gonna lose. They lost to Notre Dame. So like I said, look. Oh wait, it's updated. So Tulane would have it. Okay, we'll go to this. But like I said, look. Here's the difference. This right here is the difference. North Texas, Tulane, and South Florida. We already talked about the South Florida and North Texas. But look who can stop. They don't have to. Tulane gets have to play. They're going to win. They're going to win. They're going to win. I mean, tempo might be up, but they're still going to win and then win. And that means they finish a perfect 10-2. 8-9. They finish a perfect 8, 9, 10. A perfect 10-2. Meaning, if you look back, Memphis is gone. They beat Memphis. And they would only and their quad. So they would be all Tulane needs to do is win out. If they win out the rest of their schedule, they get an automatic bid to the conference title. And that means whoever wins between North Texas, whoever has the head-to-head, which we know South Florida does, will face Tulane. So Tulane is right now guaranteed at least a playoff spot from the group of 5. However, they would face South Florida in the head-to-head for the conference title. And again, like we said, it's whoever wins that conference title in the American gets that first round bid because it's an automatic bid. And of course, the last team we're going to talk about is Georgia Tech. I hate people who say Georgia Tech is fraudulent. They are not. Look at them. They are in the lead in terms of conference. Let me who some of this wins in my opinion. So that we have the greatest wins, and wouldn't you know it, Duke. 2 big teams. So they won those, but here's the difference. Keep an eye on this game. These 2 games right here. They're going to destroy Boston College. But keep an eye on Pitt and Georgia itself. The neutral site versus the home field. Look at this. Look at this. Keep an eye on these 2 games. These 2 games are what Georgia Tech needs. If Georgia Tech destroys Pitt, then they just need to win Georgia. They don't win out Georgia, they can still make it into the playoffs. They just have to win their title. But they win against Pitt. This is a non-conference game, by the way. This is technically a non-conference game, so they would still be 8. They'd be 9. They'd be 10-1 in the ACC because this is not a This is a non-conference game, and it's played at a neutral site, not at home. So if we go back to standings, Virginia is the front runner, and get Virginia Tech and Duke. 2, 3. Here's the thing, and we're gonna wrap the video in a moment. Look who has the lost. NC State, meaning both teams lost to NC State. Now it's a matter of who they went out against. because they went out, they've won, they're 8-2 because of their loss to Wake, but they're still 8-2. However, both teams lost to NC State, meaning it'll be as the head title game. Everyone else can keep going. So yeah, that's what you're looking at. And those are the underdog teams I want to talk about. I'm sorry I had to settle the debate, but I don't see how you should look these teams over. Some of these teams can mess everything up for everyone. And that's the beauty of college football. Anyways, I'm going to get back to watching the Patriots and the Buccaneers. Remember, this is going to be interesting. Next Saturday, I'm worried. But if I believe in them, they will pull off the upset just like Vanderbilt did only 1 year ago. So, I'm Alex. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow at 5:50 for the Out Show, where we'll talk all and recap everything from week 11, 10, from week 10 and week 11 in both high school, college, and the NFL. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on Monday. This is a bit of a different outro, because, well, this is not part of the show. And don't worry, I'm also going to say BA will get a special segment. I'm going to talk about BA's special turnaround season, just like I would any other turnaround season that I think is coverable, and we'll talk all about that. So expect that. It's going to be only change up to the script. Other than that, I'll see you guys for the recaps. As always, peace and love, college football, and Buccaneers just got the ball back. Peace. Wait, no, they didn't. Sorry, never mind. They didn't get the ball. They didn't get the ball back, but they stopped Oklahoma. They stopped the Patriots. Go BA and go Oklahoma. Nervous about Oklahoma and Alabama. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. It'll be an interesting week. Next week is interesting. This is gonna be an interesting Saturday, so stay tuned. I don't know why.